Are you ready?
Whenever you are, sir.
Let me cue this up real quick.
There also might be a anti-piracy on-screen bug in the copy. I'll point it out when we get there in the end credits. But this is ripped from Tubi, so
Uh, Ain't gonna have commercials though, right?
no.
Oh. Okie doke. Hello and welcome back to 709 Meridian, an audio commentary podcast. We are your hosts, D and Andrew,
Hello.
and we're back in our wintry bliss in our Black Christmas season. Last time you guys joined us, we saw the 1974 classic Black Christmas. Today we are doing the first remake of Black Christmas. That's 2006 Black Christmas. So
Yes,
Black Christmas
indeed.
2006 will be our feature for today.
Yes. There's going to be a lot to say. We had talked about, I don't think we talked about it on pod, but we talked about maybe doing a in memorandum or in memoriam for December, but thought it might be too depressing to
Yeah.
just watch movies with great dead people. I think after this one, we can revisit that conversation about some of the choices we made, because this is chasing Texas Chainsaw remake.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where the
We
remake
are,
frenzy started.
and it is a piss green horror movie
Mm,
set at Christmas. And
yeah.
there's quite a bit more than that. So buckle up, everyone. I assume we
Yeah.
all forgot what this movie's about. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah.
All right. So it's Nameless Entertainment because it was a Weinstein
Oh, shoot.
Brothers production, and so who the fuck knows who dropped it initially?
Well, they have a quick thing. You see it for a half a second. Dimension. See that?
Yeah, yeah. And
Which I'm not surprised. Dimension, Miramax, New Line, all of them just, this is their bread and butter for like more than a decade.
yeah, they really did sort of, and now it's only Sony. Well, no, it's
Yeah.
not. It's Bloomhouse and
Yeah,
whatever,
Blumhouse for real.
but Sony still has screen gems for this kind of thing. But yeah, this really made a comeback in the aughts. Just the fucking cheap horror movie.
It always
Um,
comes back.
yeah.
They
And
always
then
bring it back around.
now you have it, um now you have it from like A24, where they're independent horror independently produced horror movies or whatever. But
Mm,
we're starting to get there. We watched Talk to Me.
mm.
I don't know if that was a Bloomhouse. It was like an Australian import though. And not it's not as gross as Black Christmas, but it's pretty. The acting's better, but it's still a shitty movie, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where we've gotten, is that the acting's usually a little better than this era, but they can still be shitty movies, and the jump scares can still be cheap and stuff.
Yeah, it's, problem is, there's so many of these that jump scares just aren't, they're not a surprise anymore, especially when they're so obviously set up. You know what I mean? Like this here.
Yeah. I mean, this is, well, that's the other thing about these is that, I mean, what would, there was Texas Chainsaw, there were the Hostels, but like, was Eli Roth even popular for more than two? These also got made really quick.
Yeah, that was another. They were cheap,
Yeah,
and
they were cheap and they were quickly produced and like
let's see. They what was it? It was Texas Chainsaw. This Hills Have Eyes, Halloween. I mean, they just dumped them out. There's a whole like stretch. The Platinum Dunes.
the Platinum Dune. This was, yeah, this is like you got pantsed by Platinum Dunes, so this was your reaction. And basically, now we just have everything's Bloomhouse or Bloomhouse chasing or something,
Hmm.
or it's prestige, low budget, independent film, right? Like,
Yeah, Paramount is jumping back in because they have Scream now. I think they got back. Yeah, they got back Friday 13th.
but there's still the lawsuit with that, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so
And they just killed the game dead too.
yeah.
Glad I got a copy.
That, that's why. Physical
You gotta
media,
play that shit.
folks.
That's a fun ass game.
Okay, so was there even a Santa in the first one?
Eh. Well, one of the boyfriends dressed as Santa for that quick scene.
Yeah. Um, this was also filmed in Canada.
Mm.
They don't like it's not set in Canada. They're not proud of where they are.
Which probably would have been kind of cool
Right.
if they had
Like
just
why would
been
it
up.
have mattered, you know?
Yeah,
Like okay, so notice the yellow fingers. You're not just seeing weird lighting. That is intentional.
that yellow bastard.
Yep, that yellow this was 2006, so Sin City
Hmm.
was 2005, so that was a decision.
Yeah,
Here we have Oliver Hudson, who is not Penn Badgley or whatever that other guy's name is who looks like that.
yeah.
But uh, currently, he's Oliver Hudson's giving off his Jake Gyllenhaal, Elijah Wood, Spawn vibes, but eventually he will come off like a young Michael Douglas
Michael
because
Douglas.
he will be yelling at the women and calling them bitches.
That jawline, that chin.
And there goes
You
Katie
just.
Cassidy, who I don't know if I mentioned it, but I have over this last year of the podcast because we watched
Mm.
that The Crisis. I've made some remarks about Katie Cassidy's acting in the context of a bunch of terrible uh, actors getting killed off. It was nighttime in the scene, but it was daytime in his car. By the way,
Mm.
um, she gives, if not the best performance in this, like one of the two best because there's a lot of bad acting in this.
Well, it's look who's in it.
Okay,
And there's
so
Andrea Martin.
yeah, Andrea Martin gets a thankless extended. I mean, she's the house mom, so she's got a lot to do, but less personality than the drunk lady, Shelley Winters, in the first one, Canadian Shelley Winters.
Now, for actresses like Michelle Trachtenberg and Lacey Chabert, this was their scream. So there's a reason why they're that's part of the reason why they're terrible, other than they're not really good to begin with, but they've been better.
Yeah. Well, Mary Elizabeth Weinstedt's god awful in this, so buckle up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she does
Yeah,
an.
she's another one that kind of, yeah, that was back when,
Mhm.
she's just, she was all, she's coming off of what Disney movies, right? Because she was a kid actress too.
And Final Dimension 3, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was kind of set up to be in a lot of these too at the time. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. So the guard, we didn't really comment on it, but the guard had been telling the Santa that had stumbled in there that Billy says every year he's going home for Christmas, but he's a little jerk weasel. Okay, so here we have the first example of if you turned on the lights,
Right.
the scene
They're
wouldn't
using a
work.
flashlight.
This So this room has no lights, apparently, and then the house itself, they use this bit over and over again. They might even
Oh.
use it again in the hospital finale. But yes, the guard thought Billy crawled through the wall and didn't clear under the bed.
Yeah, that would be the first fucking. And how is the guard not played by Ken Foree
Because,
or Tony Todd? Because they always had to wedge one of them, and
yeah,
you
but
know,
only if you were even semi legit and Glenn Morgan was just a poser. So this, the actor on the right, she's terrible, but she also is the one who gets to be well, no, actually, this one gets to be objectified too, but it's interesting in this because
mm,
I we talked last time about how like is the secret of Black Christmas that men are terrible. It turns out from this one that is not the lesson we are to learn. That is actually not the lesson that we are to learn.
wow.
Um, yes. Why do I think he's Michael Douglas? Can't imagine. So this is one of our subplots that Michael Douglas Jr.,
Mm.
MDJ. Okay, so
Oh,
we
he's
also
creeping.
yeah, we also made a lot of negative comments. Well, not negative, but we had a lot of questions about the sort of soft lighting of the previous film.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
this is
like
Batman 66 of its.
I'm
Look at
just
that shit.
like, why is there no attempt at mood? Like, what the fuck?
It's very creep showish. I think they were kind of going because now you can't do something like this post being the one that sort of initiated all this stuff. You can't put nothing new to it. All you could do is put sort of a spin on it. And look at that. it's just because after you've seen the thousand movies between the original Black Christmas and this doesn't come off. This makes the first one look like, why the fuck did we fall for this shit? You know,
Um, this also will take place over a single night, and at no point when the bodies are dropping does anyone consider just leaving. They don't consider leaving until over halfway through.
aliens in the house.
Um,
Because that's the only way that type of shit works in aliens.
yep.
Because if you're in a house, you can leave the house.
Okay, unless Jamie Lee Curtis made it, it's a prison or a trap. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Ah.
yeah. Also, we're gonna have a lot of eye gore.
Gee.
Um, we will also have lots of dead women with dark bags over their heads.
See, now you would think of any of them, females would, be pissed at this one.
Nobody fucking
Because,
saw this.
yeah, nobody saw this. But it was like they tried to retroactively flip it, from the first one where it was more of a
I
no,
mean,
women are, they can handle themselves and all, this is what women have to deal with. And then for this one, this is kind of like a lifetime version of Black
right.
Christmas where
It's a
you
gory
just,
ass lifetime.
yeah,
It yeah, Lifetime X. What's this fucking Skinamax version of Lifetime? Um, but yeah, it's because I don't think anybody saw it, and then nobody was
yeah,
gonna go
this
back
didn't,
and watch it again because,
and
like,
this
why?
wasn't even when these were like people were fatigued by these. They
No.
were still cranking them out.
So like, this was just one of the ones that people didn't fucking like,
Yeah,
and so nobody's re-examined it because there's also like, well, you're not going to go back and see where Mary Elizabeth Winstead came from. She was in a bunch of terrible shit if you want to go watch it.
yeah. The one they
Like,
always go back to is what you call it, the roller coaster one.
no idea. Roller
Yeah, it
coaster.
was the one you said. Um, the one she did before this.
Oh, Final Dimension.
Yeah,
I didn't know that that had a roller coaster. I've never seen those.
yeah, that was the big.
Okay.
You know, we got to get off this thing.
I intentionally fell asleep once during the first one so I wouldn't have to tell anyone how I felt about the movie. Those were real. Okay, so here's the thing, folks. From about 1998 to, I don't know, 2010,
Mm.
like the base for how bad a movie, like a studio movie could be was pretty fucking low. Like, we had to, another recurring theme of the pod, we've had to fight to get to like non, just like, I don't know, non-Euclidean mediocrity. So Andrea Martin will now try to like, oh, she's going to tell the ghost story first. This
Mm.
is so fucking stupid because, and here we go. Um, Rob Zombie's Disco Black Christmas, but it's not because like fucking okay. And Dad here will never get a line.
Uh,
The
oh,
baby's born yellow, possibly because of Agent Orange or some implication of that. We're then
and they
going to get
smoke.
they smoke. We're gonna get evil mom here, hates the kid, but um so she starts like she's physically abusing the kid as an infant. So this is also being told to us by theoretically Angela Martin in the future. This is context for the ghost story.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody's going to eventually ask, well, why would he ever kill his family? And it's like, let's watch we hear the story about why? So we then get like eye shots because you remember the really cheesy eye shot in the first Black Christmas that wasn't
Mm.
like good. They do that every time in this. Or
Oh
not that
God.
they do eyes all the time. They think it's really cool. Again,
He can't look very yellow if they got those loud ass lights on him.
yeah, you got the fucking piss filter on him. Um again, if the kid's like 7 now,
Mm.
it seems he and dad have figured out a whole system to. Oh, is she disrespecting a veteran after 9/11? How dare she? Um see, women are fucking terrible actually. Um oh yeah, and we're talking over it, but all of the sorority sisters just sit around talking about how terrible their moms and sisters are, and that's why they need their sorority sisters. um Little yellow bastard.
Yeah, by way of Rorschach.
And except now he hears a noise. And so again, this is theoretically the ghost story being told to us from Angela Martin in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for a lot of crawling around.
Yeah, what
What I
eh.
think is so weird about the yellow makeup is that it's like they only have it in the shot that or it's only on the face for the part of the shot that's in camera, so it never quite looks like the whole face is in yellow. Like, is it a gold finger type situation where it'd make the kid sick if they put it all on him? So yes, he has a secret room in the house now, is what we're establishing. But you can see it, like they just are doing it on his like midriff there. Okay, so she's now killed a vet. What the fuck is happening? Jesus, I can't even remember what the fucking catchphrase for 9/11 was anymore.
Mm.
United we stand
It
or
might have
something?
been.
Yeah.
Or Never Again. I remember that one.
Okay, Spider-Man, fucking Brightburn Spider-Man here. But we're going to get him crawling through the house. Now, he's just crawled into the attic from underneath the
Yeah.
floor. What is mom's response?
Mm.
She locks him in the crawl space. So what? Or the door.
Yeah, because he could get around.
Right. And now we get back to the future and there's very little um
God,
reaction.
Scream just
Yeah.
influenced everything that followed. All the phone shots just
Yep. So here we get the obscene phone call. Um, it's straight to the point in this one and not like the threats of sexual violence because that's not the type of creep Keir Dullea is in this one.
mm,
Michael Douglas Jr. just is fucking all of Katie Cassidy's sorority sisters, and or he's trying to, but he's only got video of one.
mm,
Okay, so then we're gonna have this whole thing of like the killer's gonna be collecting the cell phones, and I
just to make it
believe,
contemporary.
yeah,
So no name here. She's oh look, Bob Clark reference.
yep.
The leg lamp. No name actress. I guess she's playing Margot Kidder.
So Margot Kidder, who gets
Oh yeah, she's definitely on a chopping block.
no, just you think you're gonna get through the movie without some really weird nudity, but there will be. Okay, yes, and this is gonna be our prime suspect for a while because she's funny looking.
Right. She just walked in from the 1960s.
Um,
Oh. Oh look, a unicorn.
yeah, a really
I wonder
fucking
if that's the
sharp
same
one.
prop.
I'm pretty sure that it's a repeated bit, like the killer only uses those.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Um, okay, so then she's just gonna disappear here for a second. Or no, we need to establish she's got long blonde hair. Um, all right, now we're back in the past.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go.
So basically, she became one half of the couple of people under the stairs.
Dude, here it comes.
Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna have a incest
Oh no. What?
complete with Chinatown line
Oh,
references.
oh man.
Oh yeah. So, for some
Uh,
reason,
how
Bob
is she?
Clark,
How is she still even able to birth kids? Because she looked 50 already.
Bob Clark oddly did not like this origin story for the villain in his cozy um proto slasher.
Mm.
Shocking. Okay. It's
She's already
also,
looked past the age anybody should be having kids.
oh my god, is that, could that possibly be her? I wonder. We just cut directly back. But the IMDb trivia page also explains to you how smart these these suspect implication sequences are. So if you want to go read that, you could see what Glenn Morgan writes about himself. Uh, okay, so Andrea Martin got her a present, or she got a present from the Secret Santa, which is all they've done with Andrea Martin. And then Claire's gone already. What the fuck happened? That's weird. How could she disappear like that? Or Eve. Claire's somebody else. Oh, I do think it's funny that Lacey Chabert is the only one on a cell phone right now, and the
Mm.
rest of them are just like,
They're just kind of sitting there.
yep. They,
Was Trachtenberg even old enough to be in college at this point?
did she?
Because they're all different ages.
Does she even work anymore? I couldn't remember.
Eh, kinda. Like she does a lot of horror shit. You
Okay.
know, last time I remember she did one of those, supernatural happenings shows or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know why she fell off. I've seen her in other stuff. She's not horrible either.
No, I remember she wasn't supposed to be bad, but then, oh my God, the fucking directing. Like, and I love how the phone looks so stupid. Like, we'll get that shot a few times.
It's probably the same shot.
Oh, so they never, they like place a call to the police, and the police, but they don't call the police here. They call campus security who's too busy,
Oh,
or they're closed for the weekend. So they're going to eventually call the police, and the police are going to be um, too busy to get there,
mm.
even though there's a murder in the house. So here we get Michael Douglas Jr. sneaking around their house looking for this, the missing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna find out that there's like a whole backstory to the video that seems like it was cut. Like, it seems
Mm.
like they didn't have the money to cut the two of them talking on the cell phone or something. So
Oh, was somebody gonna blackmail somebody with
yeah,
the video or
or
some shit?
something like that. And it's just it gets talked about later on, but like, why didn't we hear them talking on the phone about it? Like, oh,
Mm.
because it makes him a suspect for the murders, even though that doesn't make any sense. Or it's just like the red herring things in this are like always over in the same scene. They don't go the full like um they don't fully
Mm.
revolve or something. Like, it's very weird. So they get him a telescope for some reason in 1991. Now, The movie takes place in 2006, theoretically.
Mm.
Um, and they're going to talk about how like all the houses got bought on this block to be converted into frat houses like 10 years ago. But there's no, also, this is far more stuff nearby than is ever visible um, in the present. But
Oh,
yeah. Oh, God. Buckle up.
oh, well, see, they didn't. If she's supposed to be a red herring, her hair shouldn't be dark. And again, there is always hair dye.
Yeah, that actually goes completely unaddressed because it's not part of the red herring in the right way.
Mm.
So, one Christmas, after seeing the norms down the street, oh, also, we're going to get Billy making a call to mom,
Mm.
but we never established how that's possible in
Oh, right.
1992. Like, we don't have the two lines in the house subplot. Billy is has grabbed his little sister slash daughter and is prying her eyeballs out somewhere
Oh, God.
because yeah, this movie very much has the vibe of we couldn't get anybody to say yes to doing this, so
Yeah,
we
this is just a little too. This is over the top.
yeah.
This is
Supposedly
very, very over the top.
this is all Bob Weinstein's fault per Glenn Morgan. He's now going to eat skin cookies off of mom. So get ready for that.
Oh, God. Wow. I know I've seen this, but I can't remember any of this. So I must have just seen it once,
Yep.
or maybe I, you know, turned the channel for a while.
Oh god, here we go. So what we're getting is we're not getting as fucking
Oh
grotesque
God.
as
Uh,
was it Texas Chainsaw or whatever, but we're trying
no,
to
we
get
didn't see this though.
as close as we can.
You know, it was always implied they were cannibals. We didn't see none of.
Not even in the new ones?
Not that I can remember.
Hmm.
Like at least in the remake, I remember there's a scene where he wears the guy's face, but the cannibalism isn't like this.
Right. Okay, so here we have the cops coming in, Canadian actor 6. Um,
Oh God.
yeah.
Ugh.
Yep. So the European version is 6 minutes shorter with an alternate ending,
Mm,
but I think it keeps all the cannibalism and incest
yeesh.
because that's what drew Glenn Morgan to this project was he wanted to tell the story of Billy and Agnes.
Yeah.
Um, but the cannibalism wasn't his idea. But I guess the incest was, which is probably why Bob Clark doesn't want to be his friend anymore. And here's where Michael Douglas Jr. is. Can't imagine why he'd kill his family. What would make a kid do that? All right. So this is another one of those movies where if everybody's a little drunk when having to do this,
Mm,
it might explain their behavior better.
yeah.
Like, why is it taking Katie Cassidy so long to search the
The room, the
yeah.
little ass.
And also downstairs has come in our actual second lead, played by Kristen Cloak, who is
Mm.
the director's wife. Um,
Oh,
she does not give a good performance. I'm going to shock you there. There's
he
going to be a
was in
lot.
one of those
Yeah,
uh,
his.
final.
Yeah, I think it was the one he did.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Supposedly, in the trivia page, it says that Amanda Seyfried really wanted to be in this,
Uh,
and they turned her down because they didn't want to have a Mean Girls reunion. And I was like, I thought in 2006, that's when she was like about to be something. Like,
yeah, she was really on fire back then.
yeah, like that was around Mamma Mia. That was just before Mamma Mia, wasn't it? Like, I think you'd want that for your movie.
They just, uh,
Okay, so here we're gonna get some more of the let's see, people under the stairs,
mm-hmm.
hider in the house.
Bad Ronald.
So in the first scene, we had the girl who gets killed, who is Claire, ostensibly this lady's sister, but they're all suspicious for some reason, possibly because of the trench coat. Um,
And the fact that she's just, the theatricality is just,
yeah, it's. But wait, somebody has slipped a present under the tree. Are Kevin Smith's horror movies this bad?
I never tried them. I'm actively avoiding, what's the walrus one?
The Walrus one.
Tusk.
Husk. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I will never see that movie ever in life. But,
so they've established that the girls are missing at this point, but I guess all the weird goings on, they're thinking for Michael Douglas Jr. there. Um, only
hmm,
this movie makes even for one of these, this movie makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like, didn't
it's
they
just
just?
it's the epitome of a cash grab.
Well, it's just like they find the creepy shit and then they immediately go off to fucking monologue about being a big sister. There's going to be one part where they're like, "We need to stick together," and then they immediately stop sticking together.
Oh, so she's the sister of.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what the first scene was about. Was that she was writing to her big sister, who she's been a big half sister. Oh my
Oh,
God! What if
another.
she's also her mother? Fucking rural Canadians. Uh-oh, wait a second.
Hey, who's that?
Who's that? Looking right into the camera.
Why would she press play?
She doesn't.
No.
She
Oh,
does not. At the very I was waiting for it too. I was
yeah, because
waiting
that'll
for
be the
like
dumbest shit.
I was waiting for him to like bumper or like them to sure to try to get past. But instead he's just like, I'm sorry, dude, that was before like we hooked up and I'm not as into videotaping as I used to be, so like we've never done that. But some guy at my work did it because he sucks. And so then, like, she's mad at him, but then, like, two scenes from now, she's gonna be like, well, I mean, I guess he's not the killer, right? He's just, he's just Michael Douglas Jr.
These angles are killing me.
And the blue light that's coming from
Yeah.
nowhere. Yeah, it's just fucking garbage. Okay, so Eve maybe found all this shit. Maybe not. It's never like it doesn't matter. That's why you don't use a Motorola flip phone when you're investigating, y'all.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
another thing in these. To get around the whole why don't they just use cell phones? It completely becomes the cell phone. The cell phone is the new the car won't start.
Right. All right, here we go. Fatal Attraction 2.
Yeah, get out. Now, that would have been an interesting movie. Andrea Martin pushes him down the stairs
Oh, and he
and
fucking
he
dies?
dies.
That'd
Yeah.
be awesome. And they're just like, oh, well then. Okay, so here is our shower scene that is also going to be a
Mm. Oh, the
fine
gratuitous
scene.
nudity from the Canadian actress. We have no idea.
Who's still
She's
working. I was curious because we got to check the credits. She at
Canadian,
this
though, right?
okay.
And she's the only one of the cast that's not well known. So yeah,
And look at just wait and she's the only one of the cast they make do nudity. Like
yeah. Well, none of the rest of them would have. I don't. At that point,
nah. For one of these, nah.
mm-mm.
Like so we know weird shit's going on. We know people are missing. Um but what we're not going to have is anybody suggesting that they should like team up or stay in pairs. Okay, so the floor tiles reveal that
Just
there are holes in through the floor.
and they just now start coming out.
So there is a timing thing that gets briefly mentioned toward the end. Um, but yes, basically having people living in this house for 20, no, 14, 14 years since it was converted. Nobody noticed this. Also, nobody noticed the people in the stairs modifications that have been made when they were renovating the house for the to turn it into a sorority house, because that was not the bathroom that the mom had, right? Like,
Mm,
yeah,
it's tripped out. It's a two-way shower.
I mean,
Never seen one of those before.
it's in Glenn Morgan's fantasy of what a sorority house looks like.
Unless it's made to have them have two people go in and shower at a time, since it's a sorority
Right.
house. But
All right.
uh,
So why we're getting the smoking close-ups? Like, I've never seen any other Glenn Morgan movies, and I might not anymore. But
mm,
are smoking shots with ladies in Glenn Morgan movies like Tarantino and Feet? Um, so she knows that she's going into the crawl space, and she knows that this is where she drops her cigarettes.
mhm.
I mean,
She doesn't do smug well.
no, the
Those
problem
little
is,
faces she makes,
yeah, I mean,
and she literally played one of the mean girls.
I also feel like she never figured out a way to make the voice work for her.
No, but then again, I would say that's what kept what's her Joey Lauren Adams out too,
Yeah.
and she's really good.
I also don't feel like Lacey Chabert ever really got a chance. Like,
No, because Nev Campbell broke out from that show.
yep,
They put Jennifer Love Hewitt in our face till we had to accept her, and Lacey just kind of took the brunt of whatever was left over.
yep.
Because she's done a lot of these. Like, there's a lot of these movies she did you'd never even heard of
Well, yeah, and
that
now
are just
she's
now.
like,
You know, she's Christmas movie chick.
yeah. I don't know if she's on Hallmark or if she's on Netflix even. Um, so Lacey just found dad. Nobody will ever, that'll never come back. Doesn't matter. Also, we're supposed to think that was Eve because Lacey called her Eve. Eve was the weird.
Yeah.
girl from before
She saw
everything.
the hair.
Yep. Okay, so Kristen Cloak finally realizes there's a fucking attic, even though Katie Cassidy knew some shenanigans were going on up there during her fight with Michael
Oh,
Douglas
dude.
Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized Mary Elizabeth Winstead is just really here to be another body.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Like
like her character really doesn't serve much purpose at all.
that's like what's I feel like because
Her her,
all
her agent negotiated her into this shit for nothing.
yeah, like none of these people have the opportunity to break out at all. Like maybe Kevin Williamson was a genius type shit. Like somehow we have one of these movies where these people are on screen for however long and there's like nothing going for them. Okay, so that's
Uh-uh.
Eve's car. Apparently, this was fake snow and it was very gross.
You can almost see the wind machine.
Okay, so that's Eve's head, but without eyes and without the glasses, it's kind of like, is it? Are you sure? Like, why is that a. I
Is
mean,
this the head? Even a face cast of the chick that
right.
played her.
It's just like, well, I might have mentioned it earlier. They keep seeing the bodies like from afar and going, "Hey, that's Claire, that's Melanie or
Mhm.
whatever." And it's like, how can you tell? Like based on her clothing and low light because you can't see her face through the black bag unless the black bag's not black in your reality, which means we're not getting an accurate representation of your reality. Here's the
Another
cop call.
shitty thing about this is I mean, you can't have a sorority house that's remote somewhere.
It's not supposed to be, which is the even worse part. Remember, I said they weren't going to
Yeah.
show anything outside? Yeah.
So it makes no sense to have this so isolated that you can't go out somewhere for help.
I think. Well, no, because they said that the storm's too bad. We were just in
Oh.
that storm.
Mm,
But now Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Angela Martin are going to leave.
mm.
But everybody else thinks the best plan is to stick together. In the IMDb trivia, it also says when they contacted Andrea Martin about being in this, she'd forgotten that she was in the original. And like, she's like, oh, I was in that movie? I haven't thought about that movie in 33 years.
Well, that's how that shit kind of fell into obscurity. That's how far
Yep.
it didn't get mentioned unless it was in slasher circles or whatever.
And like, what was that book, Shock Value? That shit wasn't until like 2012. The
Mm.
whole rediscovery of
Oh yeah,
some guy turning the, hey, you should see John Carpenter's The Thing into a book.
yeah. Because there was a couple of those books they put out, and Black Christmas gets such coverage, and it's like it's not that great.
I I'm going to give you a hug. You were my favorite, Kate Cassidy. It'll be fine, though. So they think the killer's outside the house. But, oh, wait, I don't think they haven't gotten into the attic yet because it's got a lock on it.
No.
All right, so here's jump scare number 7. Oh, she's just sick, man. It's fine. All right, we're about to lose one of our top builds here.
Mm.
Like the Final Destination movies were very much about the kills, right? Like that was their thing.
Yeah. The whole setup and
The
oh
head's
no.
gone. Nobody noticed the head's gone. What's so funny
Mm.
about Michelle Trachtenberg in this is like she's actually there's nothing for her to do.
No.
She literally sits around the whole time. So this is the
Oh wow.
closest we'll get to yep, hold on, wait for it. Wait, what are we gonna get? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, she's gonna check with the scraper. We get an eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Now apparently there's some giant back story to people not going in for the accidental
Yeah, that was
icicle death or something, but like according to the IMDb trivia page, Glenn Morgan says, just willful suspension of disbelief, y'all, or if you really want to, maybe it got weakened in the 80s or something, and it all ties together. And it's just kind of like, if you were taking this that seriously, why is it this bad? Or if you were taking this seriously at all.
yeah.
I like when the Dutch angles are so shitty you can't even tell what's going on.
Right.
Okay, I don't know if we get the reveal on Agnes's actor here, but
I think it's a dude.
it's a dude. It's one of the like grips playing her, presumably
Oh.
because of incest. I don't know. Seems
Yeah.
weird that Agnes is so much bigger than her dad but they don't dub her voice, they don't dub the voice either,
Mm.
so it's I don't think it's problematic. I think it's just shitty. Like I think it's just bad filmmaking, not like what I don't get is this I guess Glenn Morgan did the X-Files and I'm like they can't be like fucking incompetent. Like this shit's incompetent. Or can they be? They were made in Canada. Okay, so here we're gonna get some groping for no reason except that they were like, "Hey, you want to be in the movie? Nobody else will do the fucking weird
Yeah, she
sexual
really.
assault stuff. You've got to do all that.
Oh, but that guy wasn't yellow.
Nope. So we also don't have like a different shot. So like our perception of what's going on is all this giving Glenn Morgan the benefit of the doubt. This is would have to be like a Bob Weinstein reshoot or something.
Mm.
But also, it was Dad in the scene. It was Billy in the scene, but then the killer turns out to be Agnes. And it's just kind of like it never gets established who's killing who or like when the people are there type thing. Okay. So we're pretty sure they're killers, but we're not going to check on anybody because they're tired. Uh oh.
It's coming from inside the house
Uh
upstairs.
oh. Uh oh.
Ow.
Okay, so Dummy's back. And here's where we'll establish that it wasn't him. He's just a bad guy. He's just a regular type bad dude. He's not a killer. We should have checked the attic half a movie ago.
Yeah, I could see why this is considered one of the worst, and why they went a different route for the next one, because this really can't work. It's 2020, whatever.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing though is this sorority house is I mean, from the exterior, because the exterior and the interior have no relation to one another, I'm sure. Um, it's not that big. Like it's not like the first one. The first movie,
Well, the first
that
one was a real house,
it was like a
right?
fucking 4-story house or
Yeah,
something, right? Like it was
it was a real house.
ginormous.
This is a bunch of sets. Looks
Yeah.
like.
And but even from the exterior, the house isn't that big, so we're getting like, we're in Halloween 4 Myers house, not Halloween 5 Myers house type stuff. Man, hurry up. Can we hurry up? No. Dude, we're only 67 minutes in.
Uh,
Well, that'll be an interesting thing to see on the next one is it is fucking boring as the first two. Like,
well, I think I might watch it again first. It's definitely different than this, though, in a way. Like they went a slightly different route because this couldn't work a third time. Because what we're dealing with here is just colossally stupid people. And ultimately, these motherfuckers deserve to die for the simple fact that they didn't leave the house.
Right, and they're not leaving because Kristen Cloak won't leave until she knows that her sister's. She's assuming her sister's still alive, hidden somewhere in
Right.
this house. And you're just like, what are you talking about? I think you could do this like on a. You go big, you do Black Christmas on a cruise ship or something.
Yeah, you have to have it
Or
somewhere.
like an office party or something. Like you do
Yeah,
the full Die Hard.
because you can't have it like this.
Okay, so we're gonna have this will um Pendagely escape from the fucking alien from I Come in Peace, or will he not? And he does not.
No.
Agnes spent her time in the state sanitarium fucking pumping iron like nobody's business.
Right. She became Michael Myers. Michael Myers was like a couple of floors down. They did arts and crafts together.
Right. We got to do the eyeball shit. Okay, so now,
Oh god.
oh yeah, you got to get that in there.
Really?
Yeah, like a grape. Um, so now we finally get the reveal of all the dead bodies that we don't get in the first movie, which is actually, I was thinking about it, I think I mentioned it on the pod, but it's the sequel where um the Black Christmas's first sequel is 2 weeks later when everybody gets back from Christmas break and they find the other dead bodies, and you know,
Oh, there. Yeah. That
but
that's one of
then,
those an idea that could have been a sequel.
all right, so
Uh.
okay, so Vigo's gonna lose that eye, except wait for it, it's a glass eye. Oh shit, I just saw Michelle Trachtenberg like move. I wonder if they couldn't get like anybody to play Agnes.
It doesn't make sense to have a dude play it.
No, especially when the reveal is that like when she's not supposed to look anything like Billy, so it doesn't matter.
Mm.
God, this is just the sort of pointless gore factor really just is. Okay, so Agnes has fallen to the bottom of the um
Yeah, the little crevice in the wall.
wall well that is also how Billy escaped back in the day. But wait, Kristen Cloak has fallen. I guess she fell through all the way. Like, I feel like they would have noticed this place was falling apart when they were
Yeah.
renovating. Just saying. It's also funny that like, and none of the slasher remakes did this, but Billy would be a perfect like stunt cast because all he's ever doing is making faces at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, house is burning down. Movie's got to be over soon, right? Right?
You'd think.
Yeah, you would think. But instead, we're getting some. I also feel like Glenn Morgan, like some of these sequences, he just does not have a good understanding of like composition. Like,
Uh-uh.
oh no, I'm sorry, that's Bob Weinstein's fault. Okay, out they go into the snow. Had they done that, I'm sorry, 2 hours ago,
Yeah.
everything would have been fine. So they're at Clement University. Okay, so Agnes was released from her insane asylum and immediately started killing people. That's not Danny Masterson, is it?
No.
Okay. Just, for the movie to get even more unpleasant for the ending.
Wait a minute.
I told you.
I think it is.
I'm looking.
It is. If it
Yes,
ain't him, it look a lot like him. Yikes. Maybe that's the reason why Plex didn't want to play it. Shit. It makes sense, though,
was
because
he in the Final Destinations?
I don't think so, but this is when. Wait, maybe it's not him.
Looking, I'm trying to. Clearly, it's someone who thinks that that's their way to get a job is to vibe like Danny Masterson.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see. Morgue attendant. Oh, I am
Oh,
so sorry,
that.
Juan Redinger. I am so sorry that you look like Danny Masterson, though that would probably explain why you don't get more jobs. He is a Canadian um, actor, which means he's been on lots of streaming series in the US. Okay. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, that small community there.
The IMDb page is actually I hadn't looked at it. I was looking somewhere else. It's actually a hoot because all of the supporting, like not these people, but like the TV newscaster
Mm.
has like there is a medical doctor on a Canadian show, and the first cat cop through the door is also an actor, director, producer. Um, but the family forever, wasn't that the tagline for fucking Halloween 2? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
I think so. They stole that though,
Right,
kinda.
from this. From this.
Not just this, but
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. Fucking. I was thinking Leatherface.
Oh.
That trailer. You remember the Leatherface trailer from Part 3 with the it was the Excalibur
Oh
with the
yeah,
chainsaw, and on the saw it said the saw is family.
yeah. So they like printed the names of the people in the rooms on like placards, but they don't have anybody working to get x-rays. So again, these
Yeah.
are people who have just been through the slasher situations, and this nurse is like the least helpful nurse in motion picture history. Your door's gonna be locked from the inside. You can't get out. Merry Christmas. Okay. So at this point, she finds
Oh no.
it's fucking covered in blood. And her reaction is, well, this is a mystery. I wonder what's going on.
Right. How do you not immediately call for the nurse or somebody?
That's okay though, because these are um Glenn Morgan also hates medical professionals and thinks they suck too. So we'll see that in a second. Movie. There's so much longer. There's 12 more minutes, dude.
Oh,
But wait,
we're not paying attention at all.
there's a fucking caroler. We love carolers. It's Christmas. Now Agnes is going to be super fucking slick coming in to kill her instead of just dropping
Right.
because, like, right here
Right.
we, yep.
Urgh. Die, monster, die. Oh no.
So now in the European version, Billy's dead,
Mm.
and this is all much shorter.
How did this pass?
I mean,
They just turned it into Halloween 2. What the
mhm,
fuck, man?
okay. Oh,
Eeh.
the The medical instruments did not go spilling that way in the wide shot. All right.
Okay,
Merry
so
Christmas. Oh, I didn't notice the intestines the last time I watched it. This movie's good. I changed my mind. Glenn Morgan won me over with the intestines.
look at that.
That cheap piece of shit shot. Like, all right. So we actually now get to sit through, wait for it, 9 minutes of end credits.
What the fuck?
That's what it's telling me. We shall see. Oh,
Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban. Yep, this was his
Martha was.
first. This was when he wanted to be a movie producer. Far cry from I think he produced like three of Steven Soderbergh's
Uh,
direct video ones. Yeah. I know he did I think the
oh
Bubble was
wow.
from his thing.
Shirley Walker did the
Yeah.
music.
And then she died. It's
Yeah,
so sad.
man.
I was like, oh no. Because I'd like read that, but it was in the back of my head. I was like,
Mm.
it's got to be Marco Beltrami or somebody shitty like that. And then it was her name. I'm like, oh, and then I was like, oh shit, it's right before she died too. Oh,
Noing, 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 noing. Yeah, this was garbage.
there's our Dimension Films finally. It's fucking wild that Lionsgate bought up that library, like based on where Lionsgate came from and where they ended up. Shit, who were they before they renamed to Lionsgate?
Uh,
Who were they?
I'll see. Agnes, 16 and 22 years. Dean Friss.
Yep.
The fuck?
I think nobody was willing to do it.
Or he couldn't find a, I don't know, female bodybuilder or something?
Well, there's no reason. It doesn't make any sense for Agnes to be big. Like, it would
No,
make
that
more
too.
sense for her to be. All right.
Frail
Yeah.
or
Or
wiry.
if, like, she could have easily been like one of the other girls in the house. That's what I was expecting the reveal to be, was that she was somehow one of the
Oh,
other
look.
girls in the house.
Dean Friss is a
Yeah, he's
first.
like, yeah, it's the cameraman. That's all they could get.
Wow.
Okay. Lionsgate started as Cinepix,
That
and
sounds like a
basically,
direct to video company.
Cinepix was the Canadian version of Roger Corman. They
Oh,
made
see.
meatballs and they made shivers. They bought famous players, which that was a famous players for distribution. So basically, they were like a like distribution, like we owned theaters in Canada for a while. They became Lionsgate Film in 1998, which is when they had that OG logo with the little lion, and they were sort of doing indie stuff those first few years. They bought Artisan. That's who I was thinking of. They bought Artisan and
Artisan.
Trimark in 2000 and 2003. Trimark only had 650 titles at the time, but Artisan would add a fuck ton, including Total Recall, Reservoir Dogs, Terminator 2, Young Guns, Dirty Dancing, and Apocalypse Now.
Uh,
But then, yes, when the fuck did they buy all the Miramax shit? Oh my God. They have, oh, this is the movies they've made, not ones that they, ooh, they had Leprechaun. But of course, Lionsgate is the studio that Twilight and Hunger Games made, and now John Wick. But
Mm.
they also apparently somewhere along the way bought up the whatever the Dimension Library, because I think the Dimension Library actually went with the Weinsteins when they
Mm.
left. Like Miramax didn't, Disney didn't want it or whatever.
Mm.
Can't imagine why. Though I would imagine that you wouldn't have as many home video releases of the Halloween movies if Disney had kept them. Like, wouldn't
No,
there wouldn't be a new fucking limited edition steel book release every Halloween.
right? With a different shitty cover.
Oh my God, how can the covers be so shitty? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like,
They need to just start using fan covers.
there are, well, the other thing is there's the fan cover situation, but there's also like finding a good artist online, a good professional artist is not hard. Like,
Mm.
there's plenty of them, right? And instead they hired somebody who looked like it was doing a fucking, oh my God, Doug McClure. If only, if only. Um, are we almost done? Oh, we've got
What,
two
to
minutes left.
add out the screen time or something? Because
So that must mean that either the European version has 2 minute end credits or it is only 76 minutes long.
uh,
And I'll bet a 76-minute version of this is still fucking boring. Oh God, it was 3D too. Cool.
oh, yeah, that was
What do
another
you,
thing. Those final whatchamacallit, Final Destination movies. I'm pretty sure at least one or two of them was 3D.
oh God, come on, let's go. Technicolor Vancouver. Dude, when you film this cheap in Vancouver, you are filming cheap. Is there a soundtrack available from Varese Saraband?
All the huh,
This is some weird fucking movie credits or
movie
song
central.
credits. Also, what the fuck is Movie Central? Ooh, we got tax credits. Ah, almost there.
Yeah, that's what
Almost
it was. They rolled kind of slow too.
there. Nobody fucking is gonna bootleg your movie, man. Nobody fucking cares about this piece of shit. You suck, 2029 Productions LLC. Shouldn't have made Bob Clark so sad. Um, like I seriously am just waiting for there just to be an insert shot of somebody eating an eyeball, given what we just watched. All right. right. So that is Black Christmas 2006. That will probably be the last Glenn Morgan venture for the pod unless we introduce a bounty system and y'all pay us a lot. So D's price for a Rob Zombie Halloween is about what mine for a Glenn Final Destination is. So
Yeah.
sorry, folks, that ain't happening. But next week we will be back with 2018's Black Xmas because there was a war on Christmas and they couldn't say Christmas or something. When did it come out? Film series. Sure, Wikipedia, it's a film series. I thought this was the one that was advertised as Black Xmas.
I think it was.
Whatever. You know, this thing says Merry Christmas. This is a loose remake following a group of sorority sisters as they are preyed upon by an unknown stalker, starring Imogen Poots, Elise Shannon, Lily Donahue, Bridget O'Grady, Caleb Eberhart, and Carrie Elway. Elwes? How do you even pronounce
Carrie
Elwes?
Elway.
Elways? Okay.
Yeah.
It is a Bloomhouse. It is film directed by Sophia Takal. It is a New Zealand movie,
Mm.
and but Sophia Takal is not a New Zealand director. She is a very indie U.S. director. Interesting. I guess we'll find out. Who's Mackenzie Davis? Who's not in this movie? Was she in something? Oh, she was in Dark Fate. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. That person is not in this movie. It's fine. So yeah, so we'll be watching that. It is 92 minutes and they probably mean it. So that'll be nice. And yeah, don't see Black Christmas 2006
no.
because like if you're just gonna do that to yourself, watch fucking I don't know, watch Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't know if I'm saying watch Rob Zombie's Halloween that context, but I'm saying watch something else. Okay. Anything else to send folks off with?
Yeah, this one was a dud. Uh, Probably even worse than the original.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The
It's
original, like, no. The original the there is a much better context for watching the original, which we did not do. We were not watching it on television with commercial breaks while we were distracted. This is something special, something specially bad. And this is why I didn't like watching movies in the fucking aughts, because this is about how shitty they were. Like, I mean, this is how it felt. Like, you could just end up watching this. Like, I don't know.
yeah, it was part of that wave. You know, it shifted. It went from Scream to I Know What You Did Last Summer type movies, urban legends, and then they said, well, let's stop doing this shit and just remake shit. And there was just a remake frenzy for a while. And to this day, they're still, you know, I was shocked to find they remade Silent Night, Deadly Night, only they gave it another name. They call it just Silent Night, you know?
Well, don't forget they remade fucking Hellraiser,
Oh,
right? Like Hellraiser, that was a thing for 2.5 seconds.
yeah. Yeah, they remade Hellraiser, and that should have been the one to kill it all, to be honest with you. But every once in a while, we keep hearing about something else was coming, you know, some other pointless remake.
Yeah, and what is most frustrating in this current era of streaming about the remakes is it's like it's not like the originals aren't available.
Mm,
Like these days. Like when Black Christmas came out, yes, you would theoretically have to either rent the original from you weren't going to get it from Blockbuster, probably. If they had any of the Anchor Bays, they might not anymore, right? Like because 2005 was still the end of the we were winding down Blockbuster in Hollywood, I think,
Oh yeah,
2006. So it's
yeah.
like, and that whole thing actually with the Weinstein Company, they did fucking exclusive releases through at like fucking Blockbuster and shit. Like it was weird. It got weird with fucking home video promotions. So, physical media sometimes it's not as easy as they we seem to think. But yeah. And that's like today though, it's just kind of like you don't really have to remake something unless there's a really significant reason for it. Like that you're going to be able to do a whole different scale of production or something. But it's like something
Mhm.
like Black Christmas. Yeah. So we'll see. I was more hype on the next one before I found out it filmed in New Zealand because I feel like that is a place where productions run away to. And also that Talk to Me movie was from New Zealand, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. So we'll see. I think it was Bloomhouse too, but I don't know. I can't keep track. They're all fucking Bloomhouse. Okay, and we'll be back next time with 20. That's what I was looking up. Whatever kicked off this tangent was me talking about, was trying to find what year it was, and then I wanted to talk about the shit. What the fuck? Black Christmas is 2019. Dropped on December 13th, 2019. So that's what we'll be watching.
Yes. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just. Yeah. We do this so everybody else doesn't have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and y'all like it anyways when we hate the movies. So
Yeah. And I really hate this fucking movie. So, oh,
thank God we're not watching Return to Horror High. One of the one of the movies I wish I could fight physically.
oh. Yeah, maybe we got a kind of ambitious idea for next time. So maybe we'll do that. Soaring idea, as one might
Mm.
say. First flight idea, as I'd say. All right, folks, we're gonna go.
Okie dokie. Good night, people.